can train really hard for something and then just be hit by reality. Just if you think you're really good and then you get into a field of other people that are also really good, then sometimes you're not that amazing.
Welcome to Making Progress, where we share our members of Progress Bar. And today, I'm excited to introduce you to Mark Heij.
Hi.
Hi, Mark. I'm Leon Pauls, by the way. Mark, please, can you introduce yourself briefly to the listeners?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, happy to be here and tell more about what I'm doing in my entrepreneurial journey. So I'm Mark Heij. I am 26 years old. I have been at the Progress Bar for 11 months, almost a year now. And I have started my entrepreneurial business also 11 months ago. So in October 2023, I started working as a freelancer. I'm a creative freelancer, which means that I do a lot of I build websites, I do photography, and I want to be like a creative director, freelance creative director for businesses. So that's what I do. And next to that, I'm also an avid cyclist. So I do a lot of cycling next to work. I train like 16 hours a week. And I'm training for some races all over Europe. And so my life is focused around working and cycling. So.
And we've just discovered that you're Insta famous among cyclists.
Yeah, that happens. I do some things on Instagram.
Yeah, I
am just sharing my journey. Like, what am I doing? What do I prepare for rides or stuff like that? And people, they recognize me or they know who I am, and which is sometimes a weird feeling. But it's not like I'm really big or something. But sometimes people recognize me. Yeah.
Nice. Can you share something about your background? Like, how did you get here?
Yeah. So I started studying in 2015. I studied IT in Leiden, and I did that for 5.5 years. I had a lot of fun being a student, but not like studying. And afterwards, I started as a project manager at an agency, a marketing agency, where I had management over developers and designers. I did that for 2.5 years, and then I thought I want to do something more creative. I want to have more creativity in my own business, and as a project manager that just is not there. And then I went to talk to some people, and they were like, hey, why don't you just go start your own business, because you don't want to do one thing. You don't want to do only build websites. You want to build do photography, you want to have graphic design, and it's hard to do that at one job because you normally fit in a role, and I didn't want to fit in a role. So then I decided, why not start as an entrepreneur? And it's not been a bad decision ever since.
No, going well?
Yeah, it's going well. Well, the first few months were of course starting out, finding people to work with, clients. And now I've built up a small group of people that I work with, and it's so much fun to build stuff and see businesses thrive with it. And it's such an amazing journey.
For us, it's also fun, but also interesting to watch you find your way.
Yeah.
As members of the co-working space, because you're also quite open about what you do and what work you do and how much revenue you make, etc. And then so it's really interesting to see we can all remember ourselves starting that way.
Yeah.
So it's always cool to watch.
Yeah, but to tell somebody, it's also hard for me because there's a lot of people that have built 10 years of freelancing or 10 years of building a business.
Definitely.
And I talk to them and I'm like, I should be there, and I should have already made these revenue targets, but I'm just starting out. So that's also the other side is I just start out, and I see so many people that just have so many businesses and things. It's also, sometimes I have to remind me, okay, I'm just 11 months in. Yeah. I don't have to feel the pressure of
I think always that's for me as well. There's always somebody outperforming.
Yeah.
Especially at a co-working space.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you see this and you see the full depth of and reality of it, but you also see that it's just a person.
Yeah.
Right. So it's quite everything becomes achievable when you're looking at that person.
Yeah.
Doing it.
They're just people doing things, and everyone is at their highs and their lows, and don't compare yourself to people on their highs. Just also like everyone has their lows. Yeah.
So doing this, like, what motivates you? Is it just having the flexibility to be creative, or like what makes you jump out of bed and help your clients?
I think for me, it's mostly the freedom of just doing things I want to do in my way, and just get my creativity in, and not be like restricted to hours of working. Because as I told you, I'm also a cyclist, so if I don't want to work on Monday and maybe work on Saturday and go Monday ride my bike or something, that's not a problem. So the freedom part for me is really important. And of course, what I really like, because I work 1 day in a week at a company, and the rest of the week I work at the Progress Bar. For me, it's also like going to the Progress Bar and just being there with other people, and just have like your own little space where you can just work on your business. And for me, that's also fun to just in the morning and just go to my work and not feel like it's someone else their job, and it's my job and it's my company.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and if you go into work, like, how do you set goals? Like, how do you decide what you'll work on? Apart from, of course, the client work comes and goes, and then it's finished or not. But like, you also have to work on your business.
Yeah.
So how do you set goals? Business, I mean, like for your business, but also professionally, but also like for your cycling career and like your personal life, maybe.
Yeah. So there's like 2 ways that I do that. The first way is I have a accountability partner each week. We meet up at a coffee place and just talk about what we want to do, like in this quarter or in the next quarter, and just hold each other accountable for our goals and set some good goals. And the other one is I've started with a business coach, and that's also for me someone that just knows like how to start a business and do and improve on a business. So for me, that's also helpful to have other people around me that remind me of my goals and be like, okay, why do you want to have that goal? And is that a goal that you should pursue now or maybe later? Or so people that are being critical towards me.
So what influences your goals? Like what is a typical answer to why this goal?
For me, well, at this moment, it's all about like setting my revenue streams right. So I want to work on my business proposal, like what exactly am I offering to clients? What exactly is the proposition that I'm doing? And how do I get clients to maintain like a steady stream of income for myself? Because that's important, like starting out, you want to have like the clients that you want to work on and they provide for you.
Yeah.
So I think that's the goal that I have, like the big goal, and all the goals that are below that, they have to support the big goal.
Yeah.
So like set one goal and everything else has to be in.
So and once you set your goals, how do you go about achieving it? It's like the accountability partner.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you do or use?
So I'm actually a really chaotic person. So it's sometimes for me it's like I just do stuff and then sometimes it works out and it doesn't. But I have Fridays are more like the days where I work on my goals. Fridays are more like relax. I start the day with the accountability partner, and then the rest of the day I feel like more. So I want to make time in my calendar, my agenda, to have the Fridays to be like a more like goal kind of day to work on, like the business or other things that I want to pursue.
All right. So last Friday, what are you currently working on? Like,
well, so I mentioned my proposition. So I want to, the first months that I started as an entrepreneur, I did a lot of like, I built websites and projects. And the thing is with projects is like they start and they end. So if I have a project for like the next 3 months, then the next 3 months I have like a steady stream of income. But my my business model is not like, I don't want to build just a website. I want to do your photography. I want to do your make graphics for you. I want to help with you like ideation for your business. So the last weeks have been transitioning to a more freelance creative director role, which I'm working out, and just like what does it mean? What does it mean for clients? Like how do I structure this in a proposal? So that's the goal that I'm working on at the moment. Yeah.
So it's more like I think subscription, but maybe not a subscription, but it's like you join a company.
Yeah.
Longer term.
Yeah. So if someone like I mean, I think there's a lot of companies that don't want to do like creative things, but they don't have the time, or like it's not their thing. And I can help them with like thinking about how can we make your company look better on social media, or make graphics for like, I don't know, like venues you're going. And I can help them with that and just be their creative director / partner.
So basically, okay, so you're going to be like setting the jobs or the things to do, the strategy for them or with them, and then executing on it.
Yeah, I can do a lot of things myself. So, of course, building a website, photography, I told you. And but I know people that do like videography. I know people that do like content writing. So I can be like the main man that just, we talk about the ideas and we want to brainstorm and build on some really cool ideas. And then I just, lay out the lines and just find the people that can work on them.
All right. I want to come back later to how, then what's the next step after that?
Yeah, sure.
First, so you've been working for 11 months. It's not a long
It's not a long time. No, it's not a long time.
Sometimes I meet startups and they want to be successful within a year. And then I tell them that the average is 5 years.
Yeah.
So, no, but in those 11 months, but also maybe also open to before that, like we all overcome challenges along the way. I think you probably still have a lot of challenges to overcome. Like you said before, you want to have that, like some of the businesses that you see around you. But like, are there already challenges that you overcame that you'd like to share?
Yeah, well, it's a really personal one. And it's not something like that happened in my business career, but it happened like in my youth. So when I was born, I was diagnosed with some form of autism. And the thing is, like, I had to overcome a lot of like bullying and people that didn't believe in me and people that didn't like understand me.
Yeah.
So that was a hard time until I was like 18. I had a lot of trouble at school and just I wasn't feeling myself. And then I gradually started feeling like the person that I want to be, and like the person that just is someone that other people believe in. And I don't want to be like, how do you say that? I don't want to think about what other people think of me and just be myself. And I've had a long time like overcoming that. And that helps me so tremendously in my career at the moment. Like I just want to do things that I love and not be like think about what do other people think of me or so that's something that I have to overcome. It's you don't well, if you know me, you're not eager to say, oh, you're autistic or something. But I had it really badly when I was younger. So I learned a lot to be here.
I understand. And how about I know you a little bit.
Yeah.
And we all know that you're trying to get into the Grand Fondo.
Yeah.
Of course you you tried twice so far to qualify.
Yeah.
And you will continue, of course. But like that first time that you didn't qualify must have also been like a hit, right? Because you've been training, like you take it serious.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, well, let me first explain for people that don't know what a Grand Fondo is.
Yeah.
So in cycling, you have these amateur events called Grand Fondos, which are events that take place in like France or Germany or whatever, Dubai or Turkey. And they're one-day races, so there's just a race in one day. And there is a World Championship Grand Fondo. And the World Championship you can compete in if you qualify for the top 25% of your age category. So that's the simple explanation. So my goal this year, like in cycling, was to qualify for this World Championship. And I did it in Croatia and in France. And in Croatia, I just blew up in the beginning. So when we started racing, it was too hard and I blew up. And I immediately knew like this is not going to happen, the qualification, because I was too far behind. And there wasn't like a big hit, but yeah, it was a bummer. But I don't know. you've trained so hard and worked towards that goal of like qualifying, and when the weeks before I was like, oh yeah, I can qualify, like oh, sure I can do it. But it's also life, like you can train really hard for something and then just be hit by reality. Just if you think you're really good and then you get into a field of other people that are also really good, then sometimes you're not that amazing. But yeah, I don't like to think that that's a bummer.
No,
I think that's for me, just I can improve more because I can see other people that are like better.
And so the first one made sense. You knew that it was so you expected it. The second one might have been tougher than.
Well, the second one was a little bit different because the first one had less hills in.
Yeah.
So that suits me more because I'm tall and a bit heavy.
Yeah.
And the second one had more hills in. So I didn't even expect that one to be a qualifier. But I came in 3 minutes after the qualifying time. So that was not a bummer as well because I was like, I didn't even expect to be close to qualifying.
Yeah.
And I still almost qualified. So
you're going to do a third one soon?
Yeah, in Italy. Yeah, in a few weeks.
So how do you, like with this, what do you take from these, like the first 2 times that, and like how do you prepare for the third time to make like, of course, a little bit of progress towards that goal?
Yeah, I think it's just believing that you can do it. It's just if you put in more hours, just like in a business, if you put in more hours, just work hard and just you can reach your goals. And I know that if I just work hard and just push my body to be better at cycling, I can eventually just get it. So but doing that is hard. Like showing up every day, like every evening I train, and that's not always easy because I have to give up a lot of other things for that, like social life. But it's just the long-term vision of I want to compete and just qualify. That's what I want to do. And
where might be go a bit far, like how do you like what is the reason behind that motivation?
I don't know. It's just I'm always 100% in if I love something. I just love the sport. I just love to be in so many cool places around Europe, like in the mountains. And I just want to push my boundaries. I'm 26, so the next 4 years are like the peak years of my athletic performance, and I just want to see how far I can get.
So when did you decide to do this?
To do Grand Fondos was last year with my trainer. He was like, why not qualify for the World Championship? And my goal was to do it in 2026.
So actually someone else decided it for you, which is also cool.
Well, I didn't know that it was a thing. And my trainer and I were like, what should I do? What's my goal?
Yeah.
And he was like, why not try to qualify for the World Championship? I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that's cool. So,
and now you
started doing it.
And now you're here.
And now I'm here. Well, it has nothing to do with the business, but it's
but also still, the effort you put in and the motivation and the discipline, of course, also translates to the business.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, like, has for you, like, starting here 11 months ago, first of all, like, how did you find us? Why did you, like, I'm just curious, like, why did you join us or a co-working space for that matter?
Yeah.
And then, like, what has it meant for you in those 11 months?
Well, to start on, what it has meant for me is, like, so much, like, working with other people. And I remember starting out and I was just going to like coffee shops and just sitting there and on my own, and that's not me. So being with others and working with others and just having lunch together, and that it feels like colleagues, but you're not colleagues. So it has meant a lot for me and the motivation I can put in my business. And I think you're really fun. Yeah, of course. I knew that last year we went to do a cocktail workshop, and just that was one of the most fun things like I've had in like my company experience. Well, this is not a company, but it just felt like some like company event.
What is not a company?
Well, this is not a company I work at. I don't work at the Progress Bar.
No,
I just work on my own business, and I have colleagues at the same place.
Yeah.
So just having
we are still a company, though.
Yeah, of course, the Progress Bar is a company, but I don't work at the Progress Bar. But that was so fun, and just seeing all like those people you work with, and yeah, it's a fun bunch. Yeah, I always have something to laugh about. So.
All right, cool. So yeah, it was just like you knew that sitting alone at a coffee shop wouldn't be for you.
No, that would definitely not benefit. And I'm not good at working at home.
Yeah.
I'm really distracted all the time. So and then working with others is so much better.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to share about the like creative director as a service? That you work on?
So my dad is has done a lot of client work, and he's like, oh, you should be servicing clients, you be working on clients. So he and I we built this idea, and I just want to focus on like giving the best service to clients and just building really cool brands.
So and what's the target for you? Like what's the goal with that?
For me, the goal is to find like 5 or 6 or 7 brands that I can work on and just help them get more creative. And I think the coolest thing is to see your work getting used by clients.
But what happens when you get like 10 or 15 or 20?
Yeah, it of course it definitely means that I have like my revenues under control. And I can of course it's also about money, right?
At some point there's going to be like a tipping point where you have too much work.
Yeah, then I can transition more in like, okay, I'm a creative director and I work on the ideation, and I have people that work for me or with me that I can bring the work towards.
Okay.
So if I know like people that build a website or people that do photography, like I know how those things work. I know I'm good at, I'm a generalist, so I know a lot of different things.
So it is
but
something that you
like
would like
specific.
to, it is something that you would like to turn into an agency or scale.
I'm not sure if I want to turn it to an agency, because I don't like the idea of agencies. Maybe more like how do you say that? Like a bunch of freelancers that just work together and do really fun things.
A collective.
A collective. Yeah. Or like a band of brothers or something like.
So if any cool freelancers are creative freelancers are listening, they can give you a call.
Yeah, that's really would be really cool. Yeah.
Is there anything else that's next for you? Like, do you have like a vision for like in 10 years?
Oh, in 10 years. I hope, of course, I'm still, I don't hope, I'm still working as an entrepreneur. 10 years is a lot of time. No, I think, how old will I be? I'll be 36, so...
Which is not old, by the way. 36 is young.
36 is young. Okay.
39, then you're...
For me, it's like 10 years.
Old.
Like 10 years ago, I was 16. But I don't have like big goals for 10 years. I don't know. I just want to be happy and just build on a company and maybe have multiple companies.
And a Grand Fondo.
And a Grand Fondo. Yeah, I hope I've reached that by then.
I hope so too.
In 10 years, well, that will happen.
Is there this question is about advice to your younger self.
Yeah.
You could say, well, you've only been working for 11 months, but at the same time, when I ask this to someone who's been working in their business for the past 10 years, they always have to think because it's been a while. Like, what advice would you give like yourself a year ago before starting out? Like,
of course, I would tell myself to do it, but that's
you
the easy one. I did it. Yeah. Now, the advice that I would give myself is,
what would you tell yourself not to do? Maybe.
Well, not to do. I think what we mentioned earlier is not to be discouraged by seeing other people thrive in like entrepreneurial things. I've had that over the few months. I saw people like building businesses and just taking over other businesses, and like and I'm like, oh, I should do that.
It's intimidating.
Yeah, it's intimidating.
But it is at the same, like it's a response where like indeed where you're not what's it called, like when when you don't enjoy seeing the other one succeed, but you're like jealous. I think that's like a primal response maybe, but it
not
doesn't help you.
Yeah, no, it's not like maybe it is jealousy, but I don't
or intimidation. But like either way, it's like I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You start to embrace the success of others, and that actually helps you learn how they do it. Maybe.
Yeah. And then what also doesn't help is like my generation, we are like more Instagram and YouTube and all those things, and there's all these quick ways to success.
Yeah.
Like all these people that are like, you should be successful in your 20s, or like you should get a Porsche when you're 29. Or it's not like I want to do those things, but the pressure on building a business, like you should be successful really fast and just get money really fast. And don't get into the pressure. Just build it on your own pace, and you shouldn't be having like every morning ice baths or waking up at 5.
If you want to,
that's cool. But
like you train for the Grand Fondo, it's also not
but
something everybody would
recommend
do.
that to anyone.
Yeah,
it's like the pressure as I found out I'm a Gen Zer. I'm the first year Gen Zer.
Okay,
so 1997. Don't just get intimidated by what other people are doing, because there's a lot of people that do stuff that looks really cool, but maybe when you get to know them isn't really that cool, or maybe it's like costing them their whole life or something.
Yeah.
That's also funny, because people always think of me that I'm doing really successful in my life, and like of course I do a lot of cycling, a lot of work, but that doesn't mean like every part of my life is like the best ever or something. Like because I talk a lot about like my business on LinkedIn, and like it's always a successful business. Of course I have my lows. That's but you always think that everyone's like more.
But that is Instagram.
That's Instagram.
It's like
people.
You don't post the lows. It's always the highs, and your enthusiastic smile, of course, also makes people think that you always only have things to laugh about.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I get a lot distracted by Instagram and those stuff.
Yeah, me too. Don't do it.
No, don't
Shut
do it. No, that's advice. Just remove it. Like focus on deep work.
Joris also said it in his interview. It's like, okay, you don't have to spend time on X, LinkedIn, or Instagram. You could just be building, providing value for people. Yeah. And if you provide actual value for people, you don't have to try to sell it on social media.
Yeah.
But we're not against social media. But it's just
it also helps me. Like
it's a coherent team. I'm hearing amongst the
I've been. I listen to audiobooks, so I've been listening to deep work, which also goes in like get rid of distracting things, and it's really hard to get distracted. It's really easy to get distracted from things nowadays. Yeah, just build focus blocks and just do that.
Yeah, focus blocks are a whole another topic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Is there anything else you'd like to share before we go?
No. Well, I've talked about my business, talked about cycling. So that's, as I mentioned, that's all my life.
No, but I mean, thanks for doing so.
Thank you for having me. And
you're more than welcome.
Yeah, it's fun to just be here and talk about what I'm doing.
All right. Thank you for listening. This was Making Progress.